next one, we're going to look at Rogue One Radio. We've got, I wanted to welcome Nicole, Peace Love Star Wars on Twitter, she's known, to Rogue One Radio, part of the Red 5 Network family. So really glad to have you on board. Just wanted to take a moment to say that. So I got a lot of these quick fire ones. Next, the Science Fictionary talked about their MCU rankings. And you talked about your top 5 and your bottom 5. And I know my controversial one is that the Guardians of the Galaxy movies might actually make it into my bottom 5. It's been a while since I've looked at my list. I definitely put Iron Man 3 in my bottom 5, which was one of yours in the top 5. But for me, the Mandarin, what they did with that character, really always irked me with the Iron Man movies. Also, him blowing up all the suits at the end bugged me. And the other thing that bugged me is they took this random villain who just seemed like an everyday villain. And Iron Man fights like end of the world type villains, and he's just wrecking Iron Man suits, like just tearing through them like they're nothing. And it really, to me, depowered Iron Man. And seeing that where they go next in the movies, where, you know, he fights Ultron, and then we see him fighting Thanos, it was really weird to have this movie right before, like, ramped up and Iron Man started getting OP. He went from just kind of like the mediocre mid-tier, you know, he's not Hawkeye and Black Widow, but he's not Thor and Hulk. You know, he was kind of in the middle, and then, you know, by the end of Infinity War, like, he's right up there throwing punches at the level of them with his nano suit that's like reforming, and, you know, and he's going toe to toe with Thanos, you know, who beat up the Hulk. So it just felt weird, because here you just have like this kind of like villain of the week, and he's just tearing through, melting Iron Man suits left and right, and it just really bugged me. So to me, that's my lowest. And then Thor 2 is also my lowest. I just like that movie. But you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, I've just never been a fan. You all kind of talked about Black Panther. Black Panther for me is kind of in the middle. Black Panther is one of those movies that I absolutely loved to watch it. I thought it was a really great movie. But it was more like a drama movie to me than like an action superhero movie. So it doesn't have a lot of rewatchability. You know, I don't go back and rewatch a Hallmark movie after I've seen it. You know, there's just certain, if I see a really drawn out drama show, it's not something I'd go back and rewatch. Action, sci-fi stuff, I'll go rewatch. But some of the stuff that I think is some of really compelling TV that's drama, once I've seen it, I just can't go back and watch it. And Black Panther, in a lot of ways, although it had action, it had a lot of that spectacle, because it was so intrigued, it's just a movie that I really liked that I don't really go back and watch again. Unless I'm specifically doing like an all MCU movies from beginning to end, I don't watch it. But I can, you know, any point put Iron Man or Infinity War or Thor Ragnarok. Those are movies that I can just put on and enjoy. But Black Panther would not be one of those. I either need to be really in the mood or be specifically trying to go through the MCU. And then there was one, though, that Marissa put Age of Ultron in her bottom 5. And I was just shocked. First of all, for me, that's not even the lowest of the Avenger movies. For me, the lowest of the Avenger movie is Endgame. I liked Age of Ultron better than Endgame. And this is one when you talked about the iconic fight scene. Like, to me, that one is full of iconic fight scenes. And I really like just the whole battle that they're going through, and like the lines that Cap have, if you die, walk it off. That whole movie to me, from beginning to end, is enjoyable. Now, adventure movies are kind of on a high. Like, I don't quite like it better than the original. The original just is so special to me. And I know retroactively, a lot of people don't like the original as much. I absolutely love the original. And Infinity War is the only movie that's come close to dethroning the original. Infinity War is absolutely amazing. But Endgame has amazing moments, but it really kind of drags out for me, especially when you watch it as a full movie. Infinity War and Endgame, it's like Infinity War is already long, but it doesn't feel long. Endgame feels long. They're both long movies, but Endgame feels long. Infinity War doesn't. Infinity War has you on the edge of your seat beginning to end. Endgame feels like they put all the exposition somehow in the second movie. With that said, Civil War, Captain America Civil War, I pretty much call that an Avengers movie. And I think that and Age of Ultron are kind of, I flip-flop on which one I like better depending on the day. But yeah, so those are kind of my big differences. And I think Shang-Chi has, it's hard. I think he's popped into my top 5. If not, definitely my top 10. It's really hard because I look at it and I go, pretty much the Avenger movies are my top 5. And then I go after that and I go, okay, well, I've got Iron Man, and I've got Captain America the First Avenger, and I got Thor Ragnarok. I really like those movies, and Shang-Chi has just kind of put itself on that level, equal with those. And so it's kind of like, okay, the Avenger movies and that. The other one that everybody loves is Winter Soldier. And personally, I can't... everything about Winter Soldier is something that I should like. It's got retro time spy stuff, which I'm really into. However, the shaky cam stuff gives me motion sickness. I cannot fully enjoy that movie. And so I spend most of that movie, like, I watch it, but constantly like look away and like play on my phone or something, because otherwise I can't. So I've never ranked that movie high, but I know a lot of people, it's their favorite. So all right,